Hey everyone, you're listening to 4Player Podcast, a weekly live show about video games. We hope you'll stick around for another year of gaming discussion, fantasy critic hijinks, and of course, general shenanigans here at 4Player. Before we start this episode, we want to send a thank you out to everyone who listens and give a quick welcome to any newbies. I'll try to keep this short because this is, and always will be, an ad-free show. We've been at this since 2008, so if you like what we do, please subscribe and leave a review on your preferred podcast service. Join us in our Discord at discord.gg/4player, or, if you're so inclined, throw us a couple bucks a month on Patreon. We record these episodes live every Tuesday night on twitch.tv/4playerpodcast, all spelled out, and episodes hit podcast services on Friday morning. You can find all the links you need at 4playernetwork.com. But enough about that, let's get started. Alright, hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 828. It is March 11th, 2025. I'm your host, Nick Henderson, of course, joined by the one and only Brad Simons.
Bill Murray was on Hot Ones. Did y'all watch that?
I have not watched that yet.
He tanked the bomb. It was crazy.
He tanked? Like he failed? Like he dropped out?
You don't know what tanking means?
What do you mean?
Tank,
I don't know. No, I don't know what that means.
No
what is
issue.
He
had
just,
no
hit it.
issue.
Oh.
Tanking,
Oh.
like in video games, tanking means to like draw the aggro and like take all the damage.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I hadn't
In
realized.
Monster Hunter terms, it'd be like the Lance user, you know?
Fair enough. Sorry, let me get through this intro. Crispy's here. Hello, Crispy.
What's a good like abbreviation for Lance user? Maybe something like loser.
Shut the fuck up, Crispy. You wouldn't understand. You wouldn't even understand.
Oh man, we haven't even gotten to the intro yet, and they're already taking jabs at each other over Monster Hunter.
This
Chris
motherfucker
Davis
has no idea.
This Monster Hunter game is tearing us apart. It really
Shut
is.
up, everybody. Chris Davis is here. Hello, Chris Davis.
I said hello. How are you?
You know,
Pretty
I
good.
saw the fucking video about speedrun charts of like who has the fastest time on fucking, I don't know, Tempered Artfeld or whatever. And like the Lance was like number 5 or 6 of 14 weapons, which is crazy.
Right in the middle of the pack.
That's not middle of the pack, bitch.
7 would be middle of the pack, so you're right.
So it's close.
For Lance though, like that is crazy. It's crazy. Like it,
All right.
it beat
Hey,
Longsword.
it's
I think.
fucking viable, guys.
No, that's not viable. It beat both bow guns.
I
It
take
beat
some
the bow.
comfort.
It beat the bow in both bow guns.
I take some comfort in the fact that I could probably just mute my microphone and walk away, and this podcast would take care of itself.
Isn't
Uh,
that
It
freeing?
beat the longsword.
Yeah, it is kind of freeing. Like, all right, guys, I'm going to bed.
It
Have
beat
fun.
dual blades. It beat the longsword.
Brad, I'm gonna need you to stifle that for a hot second. We will talk about Monster Hunter Wilds tonight, but before we do that, a couple things. A little bit of news. I feel like we've kind of gotten away from talking about news, and I know we don't want to be a news-heavy show, but there is some interesting stuff this week that I wanted to make sure we mention at the top of the show. One being, and we did watch the entire insane 10-minute long video or trailer for Death Stranding 2 during trailer talk this evening. You know, we all know Crispy has a love affair with Death Stranding. Rightfully so. I more or less feel the same way. And Death Stranding 2 looks absolutely insane, but it has a release date now. It's coming out June 26th. And let me tell you, that trailer is fucking insanity. Crispy, I want to turn it over to Crispy. What are your immediate thoughts and reactions to the Death Stranding 2 trailer now that you've watched it?
Yeah, looks pretty fucking sick.
Stream of consciousness, baby.
Like, so one thing I guess maybe I was a little concerned about before watching that trailer was that like maybe it was gonna like maybe they took some of the criticism of the first game to heart a little too much, and they were gonna
Mhm.
like try to like just make it kind of like a more sci-fi Metal Gear Solid, right? Where like you
Like a
run around
combat,
shooting
like make it more
people.
combat focused.
Right.
There are
I mean,
guns
because
now.
like well, there were guns in the other one, but yeah, like the whole sort of like kind of like theme that I guess he's been talking about is like like the rope and the stick, and the first game's about the rope, which is about, connecting people together. This game's about the stick, which is about, I don't know, guns, like shooting people.
Guns. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was about like hurting people. Um, but some of the stuff we were seeing in that trailer that was like very clearly like extensions of the original game, like infrastructure that you're building for,
The
making
infrastructure
deliveries and
is like
stuff,
everybody
looked
talks
so
about.
sick. There was like a fucking
Yeah.
cargo monorail at one point that like it looked like a thing that he built,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it looked so sick.
I was holding my breath and waiting for. I was like, I know it's done. I was like, God, show me a zip line. I was so fucking addicted to zip
Yeah,
lines.
they saw
And
the
they
zip
show a
line.
zip line for a hot second, but it's like, I don't know what it was. Like it was like riding alongside a train, and I was
They
just like,
showed
oh my
they
God.
showed a new type of like highway, and yeah, which I mean, look, I'm not saying I don't think the game should evolve beyond that first one. I just hope that, and this isn't really something I would accuse Kojima of normally, but like I just hope that they're not like listening to people too much.
I think
and just kind of
Kojima.
doing what they're gonna do.
I think
Um,
Kojima is like one of the most uncompromising developers out
Have you
there. At the
played Metal
moment.
Gear Solid 2 at launch?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
he is
No,
so
I know.
dedicated to
I
his.
know. I know.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really feel like that's a problem, but it was something I was thinking about that maybe I feel a little, less worried about after watching this 10-minute deep dive. Also, I mean, fucking the balls on the man. Like,
Yeah,
I
the
love
balls
it. I
on
love
you.
it. I love it. Like,
Being
he's just
so-
like, whatever. I'm not gonna call him Solid Snake, but he's gonna be Solid Snake, and I'm gonna put Metal Gear Rex's head on a fucking giant tar monster and call it a day. Delightful. Thank you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like I love that.
He's muted so
I
we can't hear his stranded snake joke again. That he stole from someone, probably.
I was going to say Plasma Anaconda, but thank you.
Plasma Anaconda. All right.
What the
Nice save, I guess.
Yeah, so yeah, that's man, that's coming sooner than I was expecting. I mean, it's obviously I think PlayStation needed something big. I mean, we've talked about Ghost of Yotei being like kind of their big thing for the year, but I'm still not entirely convinced that's coming this year, but we'll see. So I guess it's not super surprising that this is coming soon, but that game is going to be huge.
There has been some speculation online that Kojima might pull another bait and switch with Metal Gear Solid 2, and you may not necessarily play as Sam that much.
Oh, you mean like do a bait and switch with the character, like the playable character?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's a stacked cast, and he likes to do weird, crazy shit like that. So.
What's the speculation that you would end up playing Fragile or that
Either Fragile or the new guy?
The new guy that
I don't think you're gonna play.
He's in love with Norman Reedus, though.
Yeah,
Norman Reedus is definitely in the game.
You know what would be fucking cool though? It like not necessarily like a Metal Gear Solid 2 bait and switch, but like if you are going back and forth between like Sam and Fragile, that would be
yeah. I think that's definitely within the realm of possibility. And to Bog Noise's point in chat, he says that new guy you mentioned looks more like a villain, and I think you're probably right on that front. He looks kind of like he's filling the Mads Mikkelsen role.
What fucking TV show is he in? That fucking.
I honestly did. That's like one of the few
Hideo
actors in there I
Kojima's
didn't recognize.
Got to be obsessed with something.
He's
doing,
an
right?
Italian actor.
The way he's sucking at the cock of Hollywood.
Sometimes everyone every time I go to post this podcast, right? When I'm setting everything up on the back end, it gives you an option. I always kind of like freeze when I get to the option of like, is there adult content in this podcast, or is it kid friendly? And everyone's like, we cuss a lot, but it's all kid friendly. And then Brad says something like this, and it makes me rethink. Oh man, did you find that actor? Were you looking it up, Chris Davis?
I'm pulling it up right now. 1 second.
He's an Italian.
Luca Marinelli.
That checks out. Interesting.
what
The
a
other
handsome man, goddamn.
Okay. The other bit of news I wanted to mention, because this kind of came out of left field for me, Konami yesterday announced that there is a Silent Hill transmission, which is what they're calling their like, state of play things that are entirely focused on Silent Hill on Thursday, the day after tomorrow, and it's going to be pulling the curtain back on Silent Hill F, which I am both excited and terrified about, because Silent Hill 2 was amazing. But I don't think that necessarily guarantees that like all these other Silent Hill projects are going to be amazing. And that Silent Hill F game, which is the one that, if you remember, is the one that looks very much like it's kind of alluding to the fact that it might take place in like, I don't know, like in Japan or something. It's weird, which is exciting. But at the same time, it's made by a studio that doesn't have a lot of, doesn't have a lot under their belt, I suppose. But also, Blooper Team was kind of an underdog, I think, and that kind of pulled off a miracle, the Silent Hill 2 remake. No, Silent Hill F is not an interactive movie. You're thinking of Silent Hill Ascension, which has already run its course and died on the vine. See, that's like they're 50% of the projects they've released so far out of the Silent Hill reboot have been good. So I don't know. I don't know what to think.
The developers for Silent Hill F is Neobards.
Yes.
And they haven't done a whole lot that's spectacularly celebrated.
What have they done?
Resident Evil Reverse.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Just a lot of smaller things. They worked on the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, support work for Resident Evil 3 and the Devil May Cry HD collection.
This is definitely their first. This is definitely kind of their first, like, I mean, I guess you could say Resident Evil. Was it Reverse? Is that what it was called? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that was kind of their first thing, but like this seems like a lot to trust the studio with. So, especially when this Silent Hill F looks to be like, it looks like it's supposed to be like the next like AAA like major entry in the franchise. Yeah, they're showing the game on Thursday.
Yeah,
they're gonna.
No, but have they shown it before?
No, they shown it's a cinematic trailer.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful
so we
trailer.
Don't know that this is going to be like the next big AAA.
Well, they've talked about it. They've talked about what it is, more or less, or not in great detail, but they've kind of alluded to like.
What if it's a multiplayer shooter?
Oh my god! I mean, I don't
Silent
think
Hill
that's the case.
universe.
No. I mean, this very much feels like kind of like this is supposed to be like the next original entry in the core franchise. Like the other things they announced, like Townfall is kind of like a interactive like Telltale style game, which is kind of feels more like kind of like a side thing. Like this feels like it's supposed to be a traditional kind of like third person horror game that takes a very different spin on Silent Hill. So I don't know what to think. I'm both very excited and very nervous about it.
I mean, this is the last of the first round of Silent Hill projects that they've announced so far, other than the movie.
Well, Townfall they have not shown yet. Although someone remind me.
I thought that was the name of like that episodic thing that was
no. That's Ascension. Again, that's Ascension.
The garbage one. Okay.
Isn't there like a Telltale series or something?
Yeah, that's Townfall. That is, and maybe Chris Davis, could you look up the studio behind Townfall? I think the studio that made God, what's that?
I think we know it was published by they
made the
publisher.
Space horror game that I played.
Space horror.
But like somebody.
Oh, the PUBG one?
No.
Developed by No Code.
No
Code. A lot of
space
horror.
What's the space horror game they made? Somebody in chat might know what I'm talking about.
Is it?
It
Dead Space?
No, it's
Stories Untold.
No, they did do Stories Untold. Observation. Thank you.
Observation.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of like artsy horror games. That's like there's not a lot of like no action but in space, so it's like zero gravity, story driven horror or whatever. And it was cool. It was neat. But yeah, so like that's kind of like maybe the scope that they're doing with Townfall, but it's more like a Telltale style thing. So, but like they haven't shown anything about that, but like that still does feel like kind of a side project, I guess, when compared to
it was also being published by Annapurna. And I'm not certain if that's still the case.
Annapurna.
Yeah, that was the other thing, and that might be why we haven't heard anything new about it in a while. But I think Annapurna I don't remember exactly where they ended up, but I'm pretty sure Annapurna came out and said something like they assured that like the projects that they were working on were safe.
I mean, it's already paid for at this point.
Yeah, so. But anyways, yeah, that's happening on Thursday. So I guess, the next week we'll have more to say about that. I will anyways, because I'm the Silent Hill stan here. So, yeah. Y'all ready to talk about what?
Hype. Hopefully it's cool.
Hopefully it's cool. Story of our lives. All right.
I mean, you say you're the real Silent Hill fan, but you didn't even play the last
Book of Memories
game from the creators of Silent Hill.
Which one are you talking about?
Slitterhead.
Slitterhead.
God.
Slitterhead does not do anything for me.
Whoa.
Which was disappointing because I was really hoping it would.
I don't feel like you should be able to say the word Slitterhead in polite company.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that either. I do not disagree with that. All right, where are we starting tonight? Because, we got more Monster Hunter to talk about.
We're starting with Split Fiction, bitch.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about Split Fiction, which I picked up and I've been playing with my wife this past week. My wife. And this is from Hazelight, the studio that made It Takes Two, which, if you'll recall, was a amazing fucking video game that we praised very much for being like some of the most like how would you put it? Like has the most variety of gameplay in a game that I've played in a long time. And they definitely like after playing 3 or 4 hours of Split Fiction, it's very clear to me that they were like, okay, people really liked that, so now we're gonna come up with a concept that is built around encouraging more variety, because like the story they came up with It Takes Two was everything was kind of built around this one central theme of like this couple going through marriage trouble, whatever, and trying to come together to fix their relationship for the sake of their daughter. This game is like, hey, let's come up with a concept that just lets us run rampant with as many different ideas, like scattershot as many different ideas as humanly possible. So you have these two authors who think they're going to this publishing house, this futuristic publishing house, to be published. And one's
It's
so
silly.
Corny. It's a fantasy writer and a science fiction writer, and they both don't like each other very much. And they're just complete opposites in terms of like tastes or whatever, and they end up finding out that this publishing company is putting these writers into these machines and like letting them live out their ideas. Like it's kind of like plugging them into the Matrix, but they end up getting like stuck in the same machine and their ideas get like all tangled. So the entire game is you're working together, very much like you did in It Takes Two, but trying to like navigate through this like wealth of like ideas that came out that were born from their heads as writers.
It's pretty like thank God the game is fun to play, because like I don't know where the story's going, but like it's pretty stupid. It's like every 20 minutes you're like end up in a science fiction story, and the fantasy lady's like, oh no, we're in a science fiction story, and then like you go to a fantasy world and the sci-fi lady's like, oh no, fantasy again, and they do that over and over and over again. It's like, come on.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but they I mean, it's a little. They have some fun ideas, and it goes a little bit deeper than that. Although that is on a 10,000 foot view, yes, that is what's happening. But obviously, it's about them starting to come together and like appreciate the other person's like preferences and style.
I haven't gotten that far. Or are you making some assumptions? Have you gotten further than?
Yeah, I mean. Oh my god! God damn it, Crispy! Don't put shit like that on the screen when I'm trying to talk. I can't.
I don't want you to see my room. It's messy.
I know. All I can see is myself. Please take that away.
So I did the level that you're doing now.
Dude, I apologize
I'm
for
playing
this
with...
we were on the struggle bus here a little bit. So what you're witnessing right here is a breakdown of communication.
Yeah.
Because essentially in this chapter of the game, you're both given the ability to like shapeshift into different things. So like my character can shapeshift into this like ape, and you can go if you press R2, you grow up. If you press L2, you grow down into something smaller. So like in my case, it's like this swimming like otter thing. And she turns into like a giant treant or like a walking tree, but she ends up like being absorbed into the earth, and now her character can control the environment. So as you can see, the split screen goes away. I'm running around in the world, and she's triggering things in the environment and helping me platform through it. And it took us like 10 minutes to get up this thing. So I apologize.
Dude, did y'all do the bomb shit yet?
Dude, it's in this footage.
Okay.
The hot
we were
potato
struggling.
shit. Dude, the hot potato. Okay, so
Okay,
as you're going,
it seems like y'all. How much? Okay, before you continue, how much further are you than that stuff? Because
we stopped after the hot potato. Like I recorded this.
Okay, okay. So they are not where you are making some assumptions of like they're gonna come to understand each other's the sci-fi chick's gonna come to appreciate fantasy and
they're starting to like work together better.
A little bit. I'm just saying it's not there yet. It's not there yet.
Okay, fine, whatever.
The divorce is still on so far.
So
that's okay. Suppose that's true.
I'm uneducated here. Is it bespoke worlds based on sci-fi or fantasy, or is it like sci-fi and fantasy rendered on top of one another based on your perspective?
No, it's different worlds. You go back and forth because you have different worlds.
Okay.
Like when very quickly if you go into a world and you're like, oh, this is clearly a world from Mio's perspective because she only writes sci-fi, and this world is definitely from I can't remember her name all of a sudden. But
are you playing it?
I'm playing as Mia. That's probably why I've only memorized her.
The sci-fi guy over here hates fantasy. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew you hated fantasy.
And he's always saying that. He says, "Guys, I hate."
Him and Mio.
Yeah,
that's so. I'm also playing Mio. Because
you bitch.
Malia was like, "Ooh, sci-fi."
She actually chose to play as Zoe.
Wait, are you playing this too?
Crispy? No, I just made a joke.
Oh, we made a Resident Evil 7 joke. Damn it.
Yeah. So I will say, it's I don't know. Go ahead, Nick.
Wait, what? Okay. Well,
there's some neat ideas here. They do that. This is like the strength of the game. They find new co-op ideas. And
dude, like the boss fight at the end of the first like sci-fi level where you're like on motorcycles driving around the arena and like trying to take down this giant mech together was like honestly like super cool. Like I feel like that might be in the running for like my favorite boss fight of the year. It was so cool.
But they're like good. You know how like it's like the UFO 50 of like co-op mini games. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think like any individual one is gonna win like game of the year or anything, right?
But that's not what it's about. I don't think they're expecting that to be the case.
I know, motherfucker. I know. That wasn't the idea of UFO 52, but like it is all of it together that makes it like this impressive thing. But it's not like at any given moment, like any mechanic or like system or like just like game feel is like. It's all kind of like B- tier, right? But like,
wait.
I'm talking about game feel and like mechanical depth and stuff. I'm saying
I have to ask. Like, this is not the tune you were singing about It Takes Two, and this is more It Takes Two.
No, I'm enjoying this like just as much as I enjoyed It Takes Two, which I enjoyed a lot. What I'm saying is the strength is that they keep coming up with really creative ideas.
Yes.
But I'm saying like game feel wise and game depth wise, it's really not that deep, and it doesn't feel like amazing. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I would argue it's all.
I'm saying it's all like a it's a B- in terms of game feel and
dude, I don't know. I don't know
complexity.
if I buy into that. Because like what's making the game, what's elevating the game feel for me is the interaction you have with the partner, especially if you're playing with someone like sitting right next to you, because like just the the level
Of
of
course. I
coordination and
understand
cooperation
the
is
value
amazing.
of this game. Just like Zero Skies in chat says, Astrobot wasn't deep, still a game of the year contender. I'm not saying this isn't a game of the year contender. I'm saying if you break it down into like individual
Sure.
elements, any one of these things, like you cannot make a full game out of it, right? Like it
No.
is the collection of crazy ideas that makes this fun.
Like, but like just
So like when you say like an individual boss fight is like, you know, the most
that
amazing
boss
boss
fight
of the
wasn't.
year, it's like, I mean, it's a neat idea, but it also like that was a bit of a mess. Like in its own like.
I feel like we were jiving pretty well on that boss fight. Like we were, and my wife is like one of the people. Like she's one, like when she gets when suddenly you're in like a driving sequence. She's like notorious. She's like, I can't stand driving sequences in games. So she's like having a panic attack when you put her behind the wheel of a car or motorcycle, whatever, in a game.
Does she
And
love Borderlands?
That's interesting. Can we talk about that for a minute?
No.
Because what is the difference between controlling a car and controlling a character, really?
I think it's the
Besides just,
speed.
like,
I
an
think it's the speed
aesthetic-
in which. I think it's the
But,
reaction
okay,
Crashing?
time. I don't
if
know.
you were like running really fast, that would
Well,
be.
you don't really like crash Kratos when you do it badly.
Also, this is also one of those games too where it's like one person is driving and one person's like shooting off the back of the thing. So like it becomes this game of like, oh my god, what should I be paying attention to? And there's just all this like sensory overload going on around you. So like there's this whole sequence where you're driving on these motorcycles through this like thing, like shit's chasing you and exploding, and she was like struggling. And then we ended up getting into this point where we're in this arena and we're driving around this big open arena, both on separate motorcycles, trying to take down this giant mech. And then like it falls to the ground. You have to ride up these ramps and drop bombs into it and stuff. And by the time we got to the end of it, we were both like, we were communicating and we were like, all right, you know, yelling to each other like when, you know, someone does something. And like that shit is just so magical. It's like,
I remember now my It Takes Two take, which is a game I really enjoyed, but I remember saying at the time, I'm having fun because I'm playing with Malia, who was struggling, especially with the platforming, which she hates. She talks shit about it constantly. But like what made that experience enjoyable is how like is kind of how not like on the same level as gamers are, you know, that we are, where, you know, there's moments where I'm trying to help her and moments where she's really struggling, and you know, leads to a lot of funny moments where like she's just about to lose it, and for me it's like super easy. And I remember saying this about It Takes Two, but I feel like if I was playing this game with someone that was at
experienced,
like, you know, like any one of us, to me it would probably it'd probably be a little boring. I'm glad I'm playing with this with my wife, because it's too easy otherwise. Right? It would be too easy.
but like the
Wait a
game
minute.
also.
Are you saying?
God, here we go.
Are you saying that like? Hang on. Are you saying you like playing with your wife because like you're
She sucks.
experiencing the novelty of it through her like non-gamer eyes, or because she is technically so bad that it makes the game more difficult?
Well, it's fun
can-
because, you know, I mean, the co-op interactions are fun, but I think the scenarios are more fun when there's like you know,
Crispy set traps.
There's a bit of a a divide in terms of skill level. Yeah, it's fun. It's
like
fun.
it's same
Like when we were doing the thing, like flying the car through like the cyberpunk city, and like I was shooting, she kept crashing into shit, and we were dying laughing because she just could not control that thing. And then she handed me the controller, and I started crashing because it controls like a B- game. Sorry, Nick, it's true. It's fucking true. And I was crashing too, so it was funny. It was comedy. But I feel like if, you know, if I was playing with some pro gamers, it'd be like, yeah, man, we're doing it.
No,
but
but
it would
like
be so fucking easy.
Look, I will say this:
Say
my
it's a
wife
baby game.
is a bit of a gamer herself.
I know. She plays like Elden Ring and shit. I know.
Yeah, she has.
I'm talking about my wife.
She has triple lapped me on Elden Ring.
Yeah.
She's a beast.
Yeah, but she's probably using she's probably using magic or some bullshit bit, you know. Can she fucking solo Millennia with just a pod on her head? You know.
I don't no. But
she probably levels up vitality or
listen, bitch. The point is, she's definitely not really, she only panics when they put her behind the wheel of a car. Yeah. So like most of this game, which is not behind the wheel of a car, is we're both kind of on the same level. We're on even footing, and we're having plenty of fun. And there are challenges like this hot potato thing. I don't know if we'll get to it in the footage here, but like actually we're about to start it. This hot potato game, so fun. So
It's
you go
fun.
into the so
Nick,
the cool
hold
thing.
on, but before you get to the hot potato, can you level
It's-
with me, like man to man, from one sci-fi guy to another? Like the fantasy shit is boring. Like the sci-fi chick is right. Her shit is cooler than the fantasy chick stuff so far.
I mean,
Right? Like most
look,
of the sci-fi mini games are better than any
I
of the
will
fantasy shit.
agree with you, except for there's the fantasy level where you're playing as a pig.
It's a clever idea where like,
was very
I wrote this story when I was a child, right? It's not just like you're in one story. There are side stories you can find, which are like
So
off the beaten
that's
path, I think. I don't know if they're optional or not.
No, they
And like
are
one of them you go in
They are
is a children's story and it's like absurd and you're a pig that farts rainbows and as one of the characters, and it's like I get it. It's a clever idea and I hope they do more of that stuff, right?
Oh my god.
Like I've been joking with my wife about the stuff that's gonna happen in this game. Like, oh, you're gonna go to a sci-fi world, but the sci-fi chick's like, wait, I don't remember writing this. And then like the fantasy chick's like, actually, I dabbled in sci-fi a little bit. And it's like maybe it just like sucks or something. Like there's gonna be some clever stuff like that, and that's what I'm here for. And I can't wait for the line of like, no, this is our story. Like that's in the game for sure, right?
Probably, yeah.
Can't
So you're
wait.
making educated guesses too, you bitch. Okay, look,
Yeah.
listen.
Well, keyword
Do you
educated.
do you remember how the pig level ended?
I don't remember.
Do they
all
violently-
frivolous bullshit.
violently dismember the pig? What?
Had to do with hot dogs.
The hot dogs.
We
Yeah, they
spent
spoiled that
so
in the
much-
trailer though.
Oh my god, I was
yeah.
right.
Yes, kind of.
No,
but it's so unexpected.
that pig is in this one.
Yeah, that's too. Okay, listen. So the side story thing is one of my favorite thing about this game so far. Okay, it's just another way of introducing more crazy ideas. Like it's like we couldn't be switching ideas so frequently that something the game doesn't have any like cohesive through line or whatever. So they found this like idea where it's like we'll hide these side stories that are accessible off the beaten path. They're completely optional, but if you find them and go into them, they're like mini levels that are completely different concepts. Like so in this one right here, you go in and she has written this story about being in this futuristic sci-fi game show where it's like you're playing hot potato with a bomb and you have to like do these obstacle courses while tossing the bomb back and forth because if you hold onto the bomb for too long it'll explode. But the obstacle course keeps getting trickier and trickier and trickier, and it's chaos. So like my wife and I are sitting here, we're on the couch, and we're like, okay, we're gonna have to coordinate. Like I'm gonna every time I throw this bomb, I'm gonna be like throwing now, and so like we're just sitting in here yelling back and forth, screaming, playing this game together, and it was so much fun. And every single one of these side stories is completely unexpected and super charming and cute so far. So like I'm into this game. I'm digging it. It is admittedly more It Takes Two. Like straight
they
up,
made It Takes Two too, but like
basically. Which is fine because
I
like
don't
I
know,
think It Takes Two is peak is what the studio is like the peak thing the studio has done so far.
True.
And
It Takes Two though had the benefit of like small people in big world, which is always goated, right? You know?
Which will probably happen at some point in this game. But like
I
it also had a
hope
more
that
cohesive
this game
story.
gets crazier because right now it doesn't feel all that like it's fun, but it does feel kind of like frivolous. I mean, granted, I'm playing like Monster Hunter, and I'm like, yeah, sure, this can be a night where we play this game instead of me playing Monster Hunter. That's fine. But I'm not really holding it against this game. It is nice. I will say there are I have very long days and I can be very tired at the end of the day. Some of these fantasy segments I'm like falling asleep. Like where you're turning into like the ape and the tree man. That none of that shit was that good. Come on. The sci-fi stuff is pretty sick.
I mean, I will say the level that I'm in right now, which is the ape level, not my favorite.
No.
It's not my favorite, but like there are levels in It Takes Two that were like not my favorite, but like whatever. They can't all be like absolute bangers, right?
Sure.
But I do. At the end of the
craziest
day,
part, it was a sci-fi story, of course. They were doing so much shit with like perspective shifting and like one person walking on the walls while the other person's like walking underneath. That shit was pretty cool, and that's what I want to see more of. Like the kind of stuff that's like really kind of fucking trippy.
I still feel like I have a lot more of this game to go.
Oh yeah, yeah. It Takes Two was
So,
way too long, and I assume this is going to be way too long.
This is about 14 hours according to.
14 hours. That is too long.
I mean, I didn't think It Takes Two was too long, except for the fact that my wife and I literally dragged our feet finishing it, and we finished it like 10 months after we started it. And
I still can't believe It Takes Two won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, which is stupid.
Dude, I believe it 100%, dude. It was almost my Game of the Year. So,
but
like,
it wasn't. That's the point. That's the point.
But it's the same way that Astro. It doesn't surprise me or even bum me out that Astrobot won.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it's the same
Astrobot is much more like of an accomplished, like polished fucking platformer. You know,
I don't know where all this It Takes Two hate is coming from all of a sudden.
It's not It Takes Two hate. It's like we need to admit that this is frivolous bullshit. It's great, but it is still like, number two. I mean, it's not number one. Okay. It was just because fuck the Oscars guy was there.
No, dude.
And Jeff Keighley loves him. It was like election. He was back there throwing away
dude.
Reese Witherspoon's votes. It's bullshit. Who was actually supposed to win that year? Or
dude.
What was actually the Game of the Year?
Look, man. It Takes Two.
What year did It Takes Two come out?
I'm not a huge fan of Hazelight's projects before this.
What?
Straight
Brothers?
up.
A Tale of Two Sons?
Yeah, it didn't do much for me.
You
didn't
fucking
do much
asshole.
for you?
That was actual art.
what?
That was
Oh my
actual art.
God.
This is
How did that
This
not
is
just like
frivolous.
gut you?
Jesus.
Oh man, this is getting frustrating. Let's move
The
on.
entire room has turned against you now.
I swear to God that, like, when we were talking about It Takes Two, Brad was not heaping mountains of shit on it, which is what it feels like he's doing now.
You're not understanding. First of all, I'm not far enough to really come to any sort of grand conclusion about this game. I feel like I may be like 15% into this fucking game, right? Especially if it's 14 hours long. But like, it's not like, it is not one Game of the Year yet, Nick. It's got a long way to go. No, but
I didn't say
what
that.
I'm saying, right? We've played the same game about the same amount of time. It's fun. It's breezy. I'm saying there isn't, it hasn't done it yet. It hasn't done it yet. Like It Takes Two was immediately, to me, had a much more like appealing concept and art style. Well, I mean, concepts are both kind of cool, but I'm saying like the characters were very
I'm not gonna argue
like
with you that.
one dude was like claymation, the other dude was like a crochet lady, like and there was a small and a big world. Like it was immediately interesting. This is like kind of,
I'm not gonna argue with you about that because I do think I've said it already, and I don't even know why I'm having to like defend this, because I do think the story and the concept, the novelty of It Takes Two was, on the surface, better. This is just
the first couple hours at least.
This dude, I think It Takes Two is a fucking banger from start to finish. Like that.
No, I'm saying like a couple hours in It Takes Two versus a couple hours into this game. Layered it onto that is the fact that we have played one of these before. I was just up to this point maybe more impressed by It Takes Two, but I also have complete faith that this game still has a lot of wowing to do. I believe that. I'm just saying I can't lie to myself here. That's all.
All right. No lying necessary.
It Takes Two came out what 2021 was Game of the Year 2021.
I think for me it was Returnal.
Yeah. That was a good one. You had It Takes Two at number 2.
Yep, I sure did. All right. Let's move. God, this boss fight was pretty cool.
Maybe it's just a soft year.
A flash.
2021.
Yeah, maybe it was just a soft year. Oh, Inscription came out. Chicory, Monster Hunter Rise, Wilderness, Psychonauts 2, Metroid Dread, Lost Judgment.
It was a pretty good year, actually. All right.
Astalon, Loop Hero, Forgotten City, Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember that one? Guardians of the Galaxy. Are you trying to tell me?
I was thinking about that game the other day, and I really want to finish it. I heard it was
Hitman 3?
You never finished Guardians of the Galaxy?
I finished Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hitman 3.
You motherfucker.
Metroid Dread, I also want to play. I bet it's pretty good. Like
The Forgotten City. You get the Forgotten City your Game of the Year, Crispy? I'm looking at this list.
That was a good game.
Forgotten City is my Game of the Year?
Yeah, in 2021.
Oh, I think I gave it that with the asterisk of like, I didn't play this, but I believe it has to be my game of the year.
Well, maybe it was actually Inscription or Endwalker.
He did a
You
different
know what's
video that
crazy
year,
about
remember
that is that I didn't then go and play it.
Halo Infinite was on your
Fucking
list.
monster.
I know.
It
You
was a bit of a
fucking-
soft year,
Dude,
maybe.
well,
say
hang
that
on, what
very
I was saying,
often.
Metroid Dread, right? Metroid Dread. I don't know. Probably pretty good. I would like to play it.
It is pretty
someday
good.
when
It
I,
is pretty good.
have nothing else to play.
certainly-
But no matter how good it is, the David Jaffe discourse we got out of it was
That's true. That's
totally
true.
worth
that
it.
was pretty. I mean,
Totally
but you
worth
know,
it.
we've seen so many times David Jaffe made himself look like
No,
an
but
idiot.
that was a
so-
great low stakes. Like, oh, great, he's just being a buffoon about something that doesn't.
because
matter.
everyone was so like because everything about Metroid Dread was good vibes at the time.
Yeah.
Everything
And then he
was-
got to be the villain.
Yeah.
Ah!
All right. So clear. Okay. Well, real quick. I haven't because Monster Hunter will be. We're going to talk about that when we come back from the break because that'll be a big conversation. So
I don't know actually. I mean,
probably
we talked a lot about it last week.
it'll be bigger
No.
than anything else we kind of.
I'm
had
gonna
to
make it a
talk
big
about.
conversation, okay?
got
So
some
I do.
footage.
We kind of talked about it before we started recording, Crispy. But like I did mention that I had kept playing Like a Dragon, and you said, and I am moving at a snail's pace in this game,
Yeah.
which is primarily because I just can't
like,
stop playing
Nick,
Kingdom
you
Come
have
Deliverance
to,
2.
but you have to understand now, like, why when we ended that stream, I was so like, man, if we just go another hour, like,
Yes.
it would be fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because we ended at a really like tough point, and I get it. It was late, whatever. We're all adults, we got lives, right? But yeah, that was a tough place to walk away from. To just be like, oh well, I guess I'll hear about it after Nick plays it then.
And I have played it. I'm on chapter 3 now.
The first dungeon of the game, the first time when you go into the Seiryu clan headquarters, and then a bunch of story shit happens.
Yes.
And then you end up like in the kind of like you're now like in the tutorial of like how to live in Yokohama,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I've picked up garbage.
yeah, Injincho. So now you're
Yes.
gonna learn about like what Injincho is, and
So am I
what
getting
the-
close? Am I getting close to where it kind of like takes the like where it like lets me out to
Mhm.
just kind of
Yeah.
like do the
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
things?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
about to go to WeWork, and WeWork is where
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
unlock like the job system and everything. And then
Yeah.
once that happens, you're basically like in it,
Rad. Right
Um,
on.
So you're so close. You're so close to there, and like, tell me the fucking drama in this game hasn't been just like
Mhm.
fucking
Dude,
peak
the
so
drama
far.
the drama is great. Ichiban's story and kind of setup is great.
Ichiban.
I totally get why y'all love the character.
Mhm.
He's great.
I made his
Mm.
cell phone ringtone my cell phone ringtone.
You love the character too, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he thinks he's
That's what I just said.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I love the character. I mean, I like the characters. Like, even though I've never been fully on board for just kind of like how over the top wacky Yakuza as a whole gets.
Well, this one's the whack. I mean, this one
This
is
is-
wackier
This is
than.
wacky.
I feel
yeah.
like Ichiban's story is such a cool setup, and it's easing me into the wackiness gently.
Mm.
I don't think I'm
Mhm.
ever gonna be quite on board for like pirate Yakuza. I feel like that's maybe crossing a line for me. I don't know.
No, you'll go for it. Trust me.
I
I
think.
don't think you will.
I think.
Brad still
Nick,
seems like
if-
he doesn't
I
even believe
think if
I'm
you
even gonna finish
get-
this game.
I
I
don't
think if-
believe you'll finish it. No.
I think if you get far enough in this game that like the main like the main story of the game is really important and really really good. Like the main story in this game is really good. It's really like dramatic and got this like kind of
The
almost soap
betrayal,
opera,
man. The
like this
betrayal.
soap opera quality to it. Yeah, like shit like that is happening the whole fucking game. And like the stuff you learn about people and like it's really
Babies
like
and lockers.
Dude, don't even fucking
Don't-
start
don't
with me right
tease,
now.
though.
Don't even
He's gotta
fucking
earn it.
start with me right now. I had to watch the cutscene where fucking what's his face is like punching the locker, trying to get the baby out with Nick, and like not say anything. Like
Screaming
that was
internally?
awful. That was awful. Like I was screaming on the inside. I was like crying, like oh no, like I think once you get a better taste of that, and like you really feel like, especially towards the end when it's just like, I gotta keep playing, gotta keep like, what's going on, like I gotta see this through. It'll click. It'll make more sense because like
I mean,
even where you're at right now, and for like a few hours after where you're at, I was playing this game feeling like, yeah, this is really great. I still don't really like. I'm having a lot of fun, but like, okay, like I have more questions than answers, and I don't really know what's going on. And it wasn't really like really chugging yet. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Okay.
really on the tracks yet. And then once it got on the tracks, and I started like, seeing the web. Seeing the code. I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, this is crazy.
Okay.
Please just bear with it, Nick.
I am, and maybe next Monday or something we can do another
I would love to.
dual
I would
stream.
love
Yeah.
to. I'll be around.
That is
look
definitely
forward to
something I
you-
want to do more of because it was great fun. What's up,
I look forward to you
Dave?
finding the mini game about the small business.
Dude,
Okay.
The
Ichiban
management game?
Confections is
Yeah.
so
If
fun.
if Nick gets through the management minigame, maybe I'll be convinced that he's a Yakuza fan now.
If he at least gets
You get a new female party member if you complete that entire minigame.
That's all you
have to
had to say.
complete it.
Consider it
you
done.
don't have to complete it. You just have
You don't
to
have to
get
complete it to get her. You have to get pretty far though.
you have to get far enough. You have to complete, I think, 2 of Ken what's his name? I just want to say Ken Watanabe, and that's not correct.
That's what I was
Namba?
thinking. I was like, that's not right.
There's like a rich man. You probably have met him or are about to meet him, but there's like this rich guy who
Yeah.
basically funds your business, and then he sets these like goals, and after you've hit like 2 of them, the company grows, and at that point, then what's her face joins your party,
Okay.
and it's great.
Eddie.
It's great.
You know,
Nick,
it would be great if she was optional, and I feel like because of that, we'll never see her in the series again, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She's not in Infinite Wealth? I
Not
guess
at all.
not, right? There's
Not
way
at
too many
all.
people in Infinite
Yeah.
Wealth already. Like I have like 5 people in my party and they're all new.
Wealth just keeps
period,
getting more
but-
crowded. Yeah.
Well,
They bring
This-
back a lot. Maybe she is. Maybe I didn't do all the sub stories. I don't know. No, I would have known. I did most everything.
this is all just for me to say
It is-
that I am still moving along at a snail's pace, but I'm enjoying the shit out of this game.
It's
And
good.
also runs amazingly well on the Steam Deck, so it's like perfect.
Yeah,
Like
the
take it to
bones
work and
running
play it on my
underneath
lunch break.
the
Like
Yakuza games are
all I'm
all-
saying is like right now and for a little while you're gonna be driven mostly by just like the fun of the game, which it is very fun, but like when I'm talking about like the Seiryu clan and the fucking Gomi Jewel and like what's the Chinese mafia called? Like
Oh, I just met the guy
I-
from the Chinese Mafia
Yeah.
last night.
yeah, like the 3-way like power struggle, like
Yeah.
when that
The
shit starts
triad?
taking off. No, it's not the
Well, I mean,
No,
the triad is what they are.
They have a name for
basically,
they
no,
have a
it's
name
like
for
the
the
local
3.
sect of them.
The Liamang.
Something snake.
The Liamang, yeah,
No?
that's
Mhm.
what it is.
Okay.
but it's
Yeah.
basically the
Liamang.
triad.
I guess.
But,
Sure.
The head
but
chef
anyways,
of the Liamang.
I would
Yeah.
say this, maybe we'll let everybody know in Discord, but like maybe next Monday night or something, or one night next week. Usually Monday is when I stream, but like Monday night, maybe I'll do another Yakuza stream or
Do
Crispy
it,
join.
man, do it.
And maybe Nolan will pop in again. Who knows?
Dude, in like 2
Um,
years when you finish that game, there's like some explosive revelations that you're just gonna be like, oh, like I can't.
All right.
I can't
I
wait
would,
to
you
talk
know,
about
I would probably be spending a lot of time playing Yakuza if I hadn't if I could just pull myself away from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
it.
But
You're right.
fuck,
You should.
I did not
quit.
expect that game.
Dude,
I did not
Nick,
expect that game to
Nick.
take over my life.
You need to understand there are casinos in Yakuza, not just like peasants rolling dice on the fucking street. there are casinos where you can play
Mhm.
casino games and make a lot
That's
of
not a
money.
good idea. I
And
can
they're
already.
really addictive, and you should play those.
And if you play certain mini games outside
You're a
of
bad
those, you can
influence.
actually get
There's
like
a-
bonus multipliers for those casino
There's a
games.
side story where you walk into a public restroom and you go into the back stall and you're like, huh, what's this? And then like you open a secret door to like a fancy underground casino. Like it's
What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so funny.
Because gambling's illegal. They gotta hide it all.
They hide
Yeah.
it, and they hide it. Yeah, there's 2 casinos in Yokohama. There's like the one hidden in the bathroom, and there's like one under a bridge somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Damn.
funny.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive back into Monster Hunter Wilds. And of course, we'll wrap up with the 4-player minute. So if you're watching us live or listening at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Monster Hunter Wilds Weekly. I'm going to turn this over to Brad and Crispy.
Mm. Well, you play Monster Hunter too, Nick.
I
This
do,
is
but I
gonna be
haven't.
your opportunity to get into Monster Hunter with
I'm
everybody
going
else.
to play Monster Hunter. I'm
it?
going to. And it's just so far I have not.
Shut up, Nick. What's your hunter rank, Crispy?
54?
I think I'm like in the 70s somewhere.
Who's this
Uh,
basic bitch using a lance?
Hey, is there like a way, Brad, is there a way to see other people's hunter card besides just like screenshotting it and
I don't know
emailing it to them?
because I
Because
have
I
not played a
cannot-
second of multiplayer yet.
Oh, really? You haven't played any multiplayer?
No, but I'm ready. I'm fully post game, right? I'm ready.
Already?
I have sets for multiplayer. I don't wear my fucking, bullshit, my DPS sets into multiplayer. Otherwise, you're just wasting people's times. I swear to God, someone brought it up in Discord, and they have a good point. Everyone's like talking shit about this shit being easy, and then he's going into multiplayer hunts, and people are carding on fucking Arkveld or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's got a point,
Dude, the
and I think what happens is people watch these fucking like rage gaming videos and make these like speedrunner builds, right? Like, oh, full affinity, I'm running
Ditto.
heroics. Well, maybe not heroics, but you know what I'm saying. And they're wearing these like post game builds that they see on YouTube in the multiplayer hunts. They're like, I don't need divine blessing or recovery up or recovery speed. That's all for fucking, I don't wear comfy sets. I wear crit sets, and then they're getting clapped. And people are losing hunts. Like, stop doing that. You can live out your speedrunner like fantasy, which is bullshit, on your own time. But when you're hunting with others, just bring your fucking dusts of lives and shit, you asshole. Like make an armor set that's gonna give you some survivability, because it's not worth it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get through this hunt 30 seconds faster. Stop it, man. It's a team game at that point. Play it like a team game, because you're just letting people down, getting clapped like that. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I guess
just
that's
fucking
my rant.
stop getting hit.
That's my
That's true.
rant.
Dude, the fuck. Is it Arkveld? No, not Arkveld. The
Gormagala.
no, which is the one that does the Nova attack that you were saying kept one-shotting you?
Oh, yeah. The fucking the
It's not
fucking
Jindahad.
Xenojiva motherfucker. I'm just blanking.
Yeah.
Hate that
me too.
motherfucker.
But yeah, I've done a lot of runs against him so far.
That's a good monster to do multiplayer with, but yeah,
I've
I'd be
encountered a
worried
lot of
about
people that
others.
I was like, damn, is this person Brad? Because they keep getting fucking carded on the Nova. Like,
Okay, first of all, I asked how the mechanics worked the first time I fought this asshole, Jindahad.
Is it? Oh,
Jindahad, yeah.
yeah, I guess it is.
Can I try and steer this conversation a little?
No,
Well, I mean, not
Well, what do you
steer
got?
it, but
What do
like
you got?
casual.
no, 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 okay, maybe that wasn't the correct way to interject here. It's Right now, it just sounds like two people who play a fuck ton of Monster Hunter are
Yeah, but you know
speaking a
what? The
language that-
world is playing a fuck ton of Monster Hunter with us, so people listening who care about Monster Hunter
Okay.
know what we're
Okay.
talking about.
Okay.
Because
But
they're
fuck
not
everyone else.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Everyone is playing. Y'all are the weird ones.
Yeah, you're the weirdos.
You're the weird ones.
Hey, you're
Everybody
one of
is
the ones who
playing-
introduced me to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and it's your fucking fault.
Nick has a gambling problem. Be considerate of his feelings, okay?
Nick, if anyone has proven that you can put down certain games and pick up
go
other
fuck
games
yourself,
because you
piece
love
of
one
shit.
more than the other, and that's Mr. Baldur's Gate 3 over here. I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
now is the
God.
Monster Hunter is the one you play with other people. You can get back to Kingdom Come Deliverance anytime you want. You should be hunting. I'm just saying. Now is the time.
You got to
Jump on the zeitgeist train.
I'm doing what makes my heart happy right now. I will play Monster
All
Hunter
you're
this
saying
weekend.
is Monster Hunter does not make you happy, and maybe that's fine.
That's
It's
not.
just,
You're.
God, could you imagine?
I mean, I can't imagine, but it's not for everyone. I don't blame you.
Right. It's like if I told you also. It's like in order to play Monster Hunter, it means you would have to you would have to stop playing Slay the Spire or something.
I had to stop playing Kingdom Come Deliverance too, which I was really
like you
enjoying.
clearly.
No, I get what you're
Were you
saying.
though?
Look, I really just didn't. I mean, I want to say I don't want to make this about you playing Monster Hunter. And I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have. It was a cheap shot. I do want to make this instead a conversation about Monster Hunter. So Crispy,
Okay.
are you still there? You disappear constantly. So
Oh,
it's
do I? Alright.
no, you
You disappear into your custom backgrounds very
All right,
easily.
first it was
So
how
what
much
are you
Monster
running
Hunter
these
did
days?
you
What
play?
are you running, Crispy? You still fucking with
these days.
the
Oh,
great?
what am I
great
running
sword?
these days?
Just
Dude,
greatsword?
let me fucking tell you about what I'm running these days. You
Two
don't
pieces
even
of Gore Magala
you
with
don't
some
even
antivirus.
fucking know, my guy. No, I'm still just doing greatsword. I'm doing greatsword and
That's so bad.
my rotation is always greatsword, charge blade. Those are like my goats,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So that's like 90% of what I've been doing.
Those are addict weapons, though. They're addict weapons.
They're addict weapons. They're addict
They're
weapons.
weapons like you get a full element.
Yeah,
of
it does.
I mean,
My
I mean-
electrochemical fucking system is a little fucked up because I like the greatsword too much. Yeah, I get it. I'm a fucking freak. I'm a fucking addict. Like, lock me up, throw me away.
Did you see how much I was hitting this asshole? Like
No.
Gypsaros, when he fake dies, he plays dead.
Oh, I hate
He
that fucker.
really,
Yeah.
really seems dead.
He's tricked
Like,
me with that like 3 times, and like every time I'm like, you fucking bitch. Like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. But also, okay, well, what I was gonna say is that I've been doing a lot of greatsword, I've been doing a lot of charge blade. I lately have been like I'm getting into my second tier, which my second tier is like sword and shield and like gun lance. So I've been doing a lot of that lately.
I've been playing that. I mean, gun lance, sword and shield, and lance. That's the only 3 weapons I've been playing.
Yeah, I haven't really strayed outside of that too much. I keep wondering if this is going to be the one where I like try to get into ranged more, because it seems like it's more convenient to be a ranged user now than it's ever been.
Actually,
because
well,
you can just
you're
bring
right.
another weapon with you. Like,
you're 1,000% right. And let me tell you, like, I don't want to understate like the value of. I guess we talked a little bit about it last week, but it feels, as a person who plays like lance and gun lance and some sword and shield, it feels good to have a gun lance in my pocket, right? For like sleeps. Like, I have a sleep weapon on my Palico because I always have a gun lance with me, and really good for waking up monsters. Also, when an enemy runs away because they're hurt and they're going to sleep, it's so hard for me because I always have a gun lance on me. It's so hard for me to just be an adult and capture, because if I see a monster sleeping in front of me, I want the boom. I always bring my mega barrel bomb. So like, I always I don't rush through. I kind of rush through low rank, in high rank I kind of take my time, but it's when I get to like towards the end of high rank where I really start slowing down and like perfecting all of all of this shit out between the hunts. You know what I mean? Like perfecting my farms and my loadouts for various
melds,
things, my
melding,
melds, of course,
doing a lot of
and I will say,
melding.
like, they've made it way easier to kind of get what you want as far as
Yeah.
melding goes, especially when
Yeah.
you get to where you're just like pretty easily hunting tempered Arkveld and Gormagala and stuff. Like, once those hunts are like you're pretty comfortable with them, you just get so many gems. Like, the way you can find those hunts and like save them as investigations is
That is
so
fucking
overpowered.
crazy. Like,
It's crazy.
I think, we whoever posted that video in the Monster Hunter chat a couple days ago, it was since our last time we've talked about this. I didn't know you could do that back then. But the fact that, like, if you're paying attention to your map and you see there is a specific like tempered monster that has like a really good
Really good
bonus
drops.
drop, you can just like save it and like fucking run it whenever you want. That is insane to me.
The fact
Like,
that sometimes it'll even show like you'll get a rare drop, like a fucking orb or like a plate or whatever, and being able to save those is so powerful.
it is um interesting how much player facing like autonomy there is now, even compared to like World or something.
It's great.
Like, I love it. I think it's so cool.
But it's gotten to the point where I feel like I'm not like done or anything, but like, because there's always more to do, right? But I am kind of getting excited for title update 1 next month.
Yeah.
I'm ready for like the bullshit to come and start kicking everyone's ass for sure. Because I'm not really afraid of anything. Well, I mean, sometimes a tempered heartfelt is just on. He's just on it, It gets a little intense, but I don't know. I'm still learning shit about the game. I found out today you could, if you hold L1, and you can even do this while mounted. If you hold L1 and press R2, you'll quick put on a mantle. Like, it doesn't even have to be selected. It'll just put on the mantle you have selected as your main mantle, but besides the ghillie, you'll just put it on, even while riding. You're fucking. You could just like sharpen, heal up, and then just hold L1, R2. He'll just very quickly just throw on your mantle, jump into battle. It's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dude, I never use mantles. So like
I know, but now that you have
easier.
such an easy way to put it on and off, it is so sick. And I don't know if you've seen the corrupted mantle. If you got unlocked the corrupted mantle, but like
I think I did, but I haven't looked.
Dude,
it's just kind of like
unlock that corrupted mantle and try sword and shield, like your chop combo. Holy shit, it's crazy. Although I don't know if it's like bugged or what, but like it's crazy. You get like double hits.
Sword and shield, I really like just for the flow of it.
Yeah,
like,
it's
a really
smooth.
Fun, like kind of just. I don't want to say mashy, but like
it's mashy.
It is.
They made it too good.
It feels like everything you do is helpful. I hate to say it, I still miss the wire bug. Like, I don't even necessarily miss all of the aspects of the wire bug, but the wire bug combos, like the one, like especially with the sword and shield, where you could just like lift yourself up and then come down with the shield, where it was like, why do I need a hammer anymore? I've got sword and shield.
You're right.
It was so fucking sick, and I kind of miss that.
I'm not gonna lie.
I get why
as somebody who plays with the insect glaive, like having the wire bug in conjunction with the insect glaive, like it almost makes me. It's insane. It almost makes me wonder if like I even really liked the insect glaive, or if I specifically liked the combo of the insect glaive with the wire bug. And like,
can I ask you, Nick? You played a little bit of this and you picked the insect glaive, right? Have you watched like an insect glaive guide?
No.
Do you know what that thing can do? Like I believe it's still number 1 for like the fastest like Arkveld kill. You should see the fucking crazy tornado thing.
I don't know if I want to watch those videos, because all it makes me realize is that I'm never going to be as good as
not a speed run. Not a speed run, just a guide for how it works. There's like,
I mean, I watched them for Rives. I haven't watched one for Wilds.
like the thing about like that aspect of the community is a huge part of Monster Hunter.
I know.
Like that there are experts out there that are just like showing people like little intricacies of
I'll
these
probably
weapons.
I'll probably start watching a couple of those videos before I actually
You just need to
delve
watch
into
one
it.
good one. Fighting Cowboy. So I think he mains Insect Glaive right now. He does like really chill, casual, like breakdowns of the weapons, and he kind of ends with a hunt to like show you what it's like. Like he probably has a really good one for Insect Glaive. You know, he's not like the best speedrunner or anything, but he's a really like
build crafter.
Yeah, he's a build crafter, but he has guides on all the weapons, and I know he's been maining that. So
One thing I haven't decided upon is what I'm going to use for my secondary weapon because I don't really have.
Well, don't you also like the Charge Blade? You should not fuck with the Charge Blade.
I don't want to use that's
Charge Blade is so cool.
It's cool.
Well, it is cool, but I don't want to pick two of the most complicated
Yeah,
weapons in the fucking
literally.
game.
Complicated. Look, you just hit,
fuck with the
fucking
longsword.
sheath, hit, put it in the shield, hit, fucking sheath, hit, put it in the sword, and then you just like hit, fill up, sheath, and then you're fucking.
Everything you just said makes that sound.
Well, you said hammer. You like the hammer?
I don't think I ever used a hammer in Rise.
What about Switch Axe?
Switch Axe. There you go. That's a cool one. Once you see,
really
Switch Axe is maybe the flashiest weapon now. With the
I want to try. I kind of want to try a weapon I never touched before, is just to make things interesting. Like somebody in chat just mentioned a bow. I never tried a bow.
Oh wow! I mean, that's a whole different lifestyle. I can't speak to that.
Yeah,
I will never play bow.
That's wild. I mean,
maybe
I feel
I'll
like
watch
if you're gonna main bow or like any of the ranged weapons,
I am going to main Insect Glaive. I'm talking secondary weapon here.
You're kind of committing to playing with other people a lot.
Yeah, you're like a degenerate. Like you might as well just start watching anime. It's I don't know.
I mean,
I had a friend this week ask me to my face, you watch anime? With like totally not aware of the running joke, any of the history we have here. He's like, you watch anime, right? And I was like, how do I answer this?
No. Brad, here's a question for you. Let's talk about Archean weapons for a second.
Oh yeah, dude. Did you see my Ardean Lance?
Oh. I did. It looks
You gotta
cool.
max them.
So like Ardean weapons are the end game grind, basically.
For most weapons, yeah.
For most weapons. I think
but it's not hard to like get
I don't know which ones. I don't know. Like I know the sword and shield is the one I've made a sword and shield and I made a great sword. The sword and shield one is sick. The thing about the Ardean weapons that I'm having a little bit of trouble with is I think it's a really cool mechanic. I really like that you're collecting components from like tempered hunts, and then like how you combine those components depends on like what kind of weapon you're making, whether it has like raw damage affinity or like elemental bonuses, things like that. I think that's really cool. The idea of like trying to get god rolls on this like infinite combination of Ardean weapons is really cool. For some of the weapons, like sword and shield, I think is a good example, and probably also lance too, I think is a good example. The Ardean weapon is like the coolest looking one in the bunch.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a sword and shield that looks
Switch Axe?
better. Holy shit. I haven't seen the Switch Axe.
Oh my god. I posted a video yesterday.
Some of them, it's the ugliest.
Yeah. So like dual swords are like
user and blades. Yeah, like Ardean weapons must seem like a fucking joke. Like a cruel prank played on you because it looks so weird and
I'm mad I can't. Like the gun lance is bad. Like I can't even. I'm not even gonna make an Ardean gun lance because they didn't do.
Bad. I haven't seen it.
There's no. It looks cool, but it doesn't have max level shelling, so there's literally no point. So I just use the Argveld one, or Guardian Argveld one is the best. Or no, it's the Which one is it? Let me tell you, they've made it confusing. Just call him something else.
I don't really. Yeah. It's made and we talked about this last week a little bit, like the layered weapons. I kind of hope they're holding that back for G rank or something. Like, I kind of hope that's something that will be a thing at one point
Layered
because,
weapons?
yeah, um,
Yeah, just because there are such cool weapons out there, and you are seeing a lot of these
there's so
Ardean
many.
weapons now.
It's so weird to me that like, and I know this is like a fine line that they walk every game that I've played. You know, from 3 Ultimate up to now. You know, well, I didn't play like 4 United or whatever, um, but they have so many like cool designs. I mean, I guess every RPG is like this. They have so many like equipment designs that are really cool, but that like it doesn't have any use besides looking cool, you
Yeah.
know? And that's fine if you have a mechanic to support that. Armor has that, you know? Armor, you can just wear layered armor. They don't even make it a separate system or anything.
They make it maybe too easy in this one, honestly, but
Maybe they make it too easy, but like do something. Like make me grind for something. But like here's the thing, man. Like I just got my first commission ticket, which for greatsword users unlocks this greatsword,
swordfish.
the fucking jawblade.
Oh, Jawblade, yeah.
The classic, like the flagship weapon. There's no weapon that is more Monster Hunter than the giant jawblade. It's
Yeah.
so sick. It's so cool. And now that I have it, what like I'm supposed to
Is it
fucking
bad though? That's the thing. I mean,
it's
do you
not.
really need to be using the meta
It's not.
greatsword?
It's not. It's not. And there's 2 levels of it. There's like a level 6 and a level 8 version of it. And the level 8 version is fucking dope. But you could make a better one with Ardean weapons if you had like
Yeah.
excellent rolls and all level 8 components, and then like the excellent, like you do the what, reinforcing or whatever it's called, where
Yeah.
you get like
Yeah,
random
like
roll
I was
bonuses.
really confused because I made a hammer and I was like, it looked like shit. And it wasn't, and and then I saw what a maxed out hammer looks like. You have to max reinforce it for the weapon to
For
wake
the
up
effect,
for
yeah.
the effect, and it's like, and then the
The
hammer
effect
gets
is sick.
like a jet engine on the back of
Yeah.
it, and it's
The
so sick.
hammer the hammer looks fucking sick once it's awoken. The sword and shield looks sick once it's awoken. Even the greatsword, which I didn't like
Yeah,
the base greatsword. I was like, nah, it's just too
yeah,
triangular. I don't like it.
yeah,
When it's like awoken and it has like the
yeah.
turbines and like all the
You
glowy
have
bits,
to look at the charge
so
blade.
sick.
It's, I mean, the charge blade is good too,
The
but the
charge looks cool too, though. It has that
switch
like
axe is the coolest one
the
for
gears
sure.
and shit. Like that stuff looks kind of
Yeah,
cool. But there's so many like cool, like I don't know. Yeah. I'm not doing, yeah. Like you were saying about like the speed or like speedrunner builds, like I can't
yeah.
do that because I'm gonna use my fucking sick looking Jindahar like or Jindahad greatsword that is fucking peak. Like everything, by the way, all the armor and the weapons that come from that monster,
So
fucking
good,
sick. So
so
sick.
good. The
So
sword
sick.
and
I was
shield
just supposed
is
to
a
not use
flail.
them?
It's a flail.
Dude, the
Uh,
flail. That is so cool. Like that is fucking sick. And it made me a little sad because I was like, no, you should just make that a weapon. Like make
the
flails or
lance
something.
sucks though. I will say the lance Jindahad weapon, it just looks like a Gormagala lance. It doesn't look like all the other
Yeah.
like Jindahad stuff. Like the gun lance looks fucking cool. And the gun lance ain't that bad. So it's not like meta or anything, but it's like a pretty solid fucking gun lance. The problem is the Arkfell one is just so good. Um man. Man. The real reason the Ardean weapons are so powerful is because you get 3 level 3 slots. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
start getting
Which
like the
is
really good
huge.
decorations, and it's like this is just so crazy. Yeah.
Dude, what is this? This is yours, right?
Yeah,
What'd you
I
do to
am like my
yourself?
game is bugging out. I thought Gormagala was leaving the map, so I was kind of like not like, oh, I guess I'll just go kill this Narcilla. But then I found out he just went to sleep somewhere, and my fucking chocobo could not figure out how to get to him. It was so weird. But
I
yeah.
uh I feel I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna make it my background here. But I posted a picture of my hunter in the
Oh,
hunting channel,
sick.
and nobody. Which, hey, my hunter looks kind of cool. I think looks great. This is before I got the jaw blade, so just imagine that there instead of this thing. But nobody mentioned the amazing paint job I did on my sacred.
You can do custom paint jobs on your
Oh, look
bird.
at it, Nick! Look at it,
It's green and yellow.
Nick.
Wait, what? Hold on. It's gonna. I'm waiting. Hold on. I feel like I should know this.
You
This is a
should.
reference to something.
You really should. You
Wow,
really
Nick.
should, Nick.
You fucking scrub.
Oh, come
Brad, do you
on.
see it? Do
Yeah,
you
it's
see
the
it, Brad?
chocobo from Scream.
No, from Scream. Yeah.
It's the Dexter chocobo.
No, it's so because the sacreds have like this like natural stripy pattern to them that you can emphasize. I did it in the colors of the Jurassic Park tour jeeps.
Oh, okay.
It's like the bottom, like the runner boards are yellow, and then like the body itself is green with the red.
Okay, that's pretty
Dude,
badass.
did you see my? I guess you can't see. I never really like do a zoom in or anything, but I unlocked like I want to get more like sacred customization items and stuff.
Yeah.
Like more.
Can you do that?
Yeah, like I unlocked like one that is like a weird. I don't even know how to
I
describe
know you
it.
can get one for beating Arkvald and another monster too.
That's the kind of shit they're gonna be selling like as DLC, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm gonna be jealous.
Yeah.
So you've done some multiplayer real quick. We should move on. But
I've done a
you've-
bunch. Yeah, I've done a bunch of
Are,
multiplayer.
so do you people are leaving their palicos when you do that, or is everything just all there?
No, the Palico, it's like Rise, where like your Palico will be set as like a buddy, and then if more than one other person joins, the Palico leaves.
Good, okay. But everybody
So
has their chicken.
so everyone has their chicken, but nobody has Palicos.
I so I wish people would hunt without their chocobo. Well, no, you need the chocobo. Like so is everyone just doing like sacred recovery?
I haven't seen anybody do it.
It's so overpowered.
I mean,
like,
I
would feel
probably missed it,
embarrassed.
but
Are they
I
gonna
don't
nerf
think
that at some point?
I don't think
They
I've seen
should.
anybody do it. And
They
I
fucking
haven't
should.
been doing it. Like
No, I don't do it either.
But I'm
But I
not
mean,
doing it because I'm like, taking a disciplined stance of like, no, I don't need this. Like, I
should.
just literally don't have the muscle memory for it or ever think about it.
Oh.
Like, I'm just like getting up and rolling like I would any other, I don't know. But
I gotta be honest with you, Crispy. Like thinking about what your item box looks like makes me anxious. Like your
what
item,
my item box looks like?
I don't know why. I feel like you probably don't even have the power charm and armor charm.
I have the armor charm. I don't have the power charm yet.
You get
But
it from the
I
other
have the
those
armor
two
charm
knucklehead
in
knights.
my pack.
Okay.
I've got don't worry.
Alright.
Listen,
Brad's getting stressed
this is
out
my
over other
first
people's
rodeo.
boxes.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
not
I
your
know.
first rodeo. I
I
know.
know how to do. I got it. I do need to craft an armor or a power charm though. I don't know.
No, you don't craft it. It's a reward, quest reward. Those two knights, those two knucklehead knights, they each have the quest for one of them. You just probably did one. But
hey, I was watching like Monster Hunter lore videos and shit like that, which which is whatever. But have they like continued that whole thing with the man in red or whatever, like the man in red robes? Like how a lot of like your high end quests like end up coming from this like mysterious guy in red robes in all the other games.
I have no idea.
Except
No idea.
Rise. I don't think they did it in Rise. I don't know.
Not my bag. I was skipping cutscenes by the end of this thing. Not cutscenes, but the conversations. I'm just not.
Yeah, it's
not that guy.
Whatever. Last question. You probably already answered this, but what are you playing on?
PS5.
Okay.
But it's crossplay. We'll just hop into.
No,
Discord.
I know.
I'm ready to do some hunts.
I was just wondering about.
So I will help. Y'all tell me where to point my lance.
There's they made a 4-player squad.
Yeah, I just haven't even figured out how to figure out what that is.
I think I did. I thought it.
I think it exists. I've been told it exists. I just haven't done it. So when I launch the game, I always do single player offline or single player online because it lets me do the pause function, which I just kind of need in my life. So I'm never like that ready to like just jump into a multiplayer hunt. But I mean, absolutely, I'm ready to do it. Let's do a Monster Hunter night. I mean, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, what are we talking about?
Let's fucking go. We're gonna
Next
do
Tuesday. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean nothing, right?
We're gonna do.
I mean, I will not be far enough to like probably participate.
No,
I don't
probably
think.
not. And if you're a coward, or maybe are we gonna talk about Split Fiction again? Come on. Frivolous.
Wow, bro! Jesus Christ!
Eat a bunch of popcorn and I don't know.
I'm
whatever.
fine with doing a Monster Hunter night next week.
I will say, I know he turned off the footage and everything. It is still remarkable to me. Like the true beauty of this one is just how alive these environments feel now. Like way more Rise. And I think it's because we had this big gap with Rise where it was like a Switch game. So they kind of had to like dial that stuff back. And now that we're like full on, like back on the big boy system, man, they've made everything just feel like it's just you're just in like a living, breathing world, and I love that so much.
It's so cool.
Like more
It's
so
so
than
good.
World.
Yeah,
I
much
mean,
more
like,
so than
adding,
World.
like,
It
day,
is. It
night,
is.
and, like, the seasonal system and everything.
Yeah,
like,
it just it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. And I'm not talking about graphics. I mean, I know a lot of people have been struggling with that on PC, but it's just it's so good. It's so fucking good, man. I just like walking around these environments. I finally like slowed down and said, you know what? I'm just gonna like find all these camps. And just walking around slowly, I found so many camps. It is crazy. There were maps where I was just letting my chicken take me to the hunt, and you know, it would take a long time to get to the monster sometimes because I had not found all the camps in some of the later maps. And once you start looking, it's like crazy how many you can find. Cool little nooks and caves, and like it's like so wonderfully like organic and vertical, and like you can really find cool nooks and crannies. It feels so good.
I need to do
I don't
more
know.
of that. I like,
Yeah.
I've played like 60 hours at this point, and I'm watching videos, and they're like going into areas of the map that like I've never like. I didn't. There is an underwater section somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
Like there is like a big swimming area that like
Yes.
I've never seen. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Somewhere
Crispy,
else,
are you on PS5 as well? Or are you playing PC?
On PC.
Okay. There was an
I'm on
update the other day. I don't know how big
PC.
an update it was, but
Yeah,
And
this
you
game
know what?
is popular enough. They're gonna do
It was-
stuff. I mean, like Dragon's Dogma 2 is a game they cleaned up really nicely, at least on consoles. That was really kind of messy at launch, and by the
I mean,
time,
I
like
didn't struggle with
by
the
the end of
game.
the year, huh?
I didn't have many issues with that game at launch.
I'm talking about the console version, or maybe like
Oh.
the less bougie PC rigs and stuff were struggling. But on console, by the end of the year, it was running like butter. So I'm expecting this game sold like so much. So
Oh yeah.
so
We saw it coming.
they're
That's great.
definitely going to
Yeah, it's
they're
only going to get
definitely
better.
gonna be working
Yeah.
on this.
That's so
Like
crazy.
there's going to be lots of Nvidia driver updates that are going to be about Wilds. You know, it's a big deal.
For sure. All right.
It sold 8 million copies in like 2 days.
Yeah,
They
that's
should make
bananas.
a good Monster Hunter movie instead of another Jurassic Park. That's what they should do.
They already made a
That's
good
what-
Monster Hunter
no, I
movie.
said a good one.
Wow, that was such a bad movie too. It was offensive, like the tiny
was-
great sword and like the
Dude,
Ah.
that greats. Yeah, that's what I
So
was
bad.
thinking about too. It's so they're like it's ridiculous that a human
Wait,
would
so
carry a giant
Brett, did you
sword.
watch that movie or do you just
yeah, I watched it.
damn?
Malia watched it too.
Isn't
Fish.
the fucking Meowscular chef in it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, poor
Yeah.
guy, poor fucking guy.
All right.
Tar.
Before we wrap
Tar
up-
is the better Monster Hunter movie. I agree.
Before we wrap up with the 4-player minute, Brad, I know it's been a few shows since we've talked at all really about Fantasy Critic, and I feel like that's probably my fault. Should we give any quick updates about where we stand right
I could
now
do
with
that
Fantasy Critic?
easily.
Cool. Take it away.
I'm crushing it, of course, even with my counter pick. A lot of my games have come out, right? So
It is March.
Lost Records Bloom and Rage came out 76. I never fuck with Don't Nod, honestly, because they swim in 70s. Sorry, Chris Davis. I know you're a believer, but
No,
did you ever get around to playing that?
I haven't had
You
time.
talked about it here? Oh, okay.
Pirating it up in his new house.
Me, I'm doing well. Monster Hunter came out, Citizen Sleeper, 2 Point Museum, Ender Magnolia. Those all scored really well. And I'm sitting on that big L from countering Kingdom Come Deliverance, but of course I'm gonna super drop it. I guess people have been commenting because I've picked up a lot of games, right? I picked up Blueprints and Expelled, which Nick will never even think about ever again.
Nope. It's already
Overboard
gone.
scored at 88 on OpenCritic, by the way. So, and this is the sequel to that. So, I know you would never consider taking something that looks like that, but hopefully it's good. And I picked up the new Atelier game because honestly, it's in my GameFly
Which
queue.
you
I'm
haven't
excited.
talked about yet. But I guess you've been playing Monster Hunter.
I talked about it during trailer talk. I haven't talked about what?
You didn't talk about it on the podcast.
Atelier Yumia? It's not out yet. It's not out yet.
Oh. What am I?
talked
Oh,
about-
I'm thinking of Ender
Ender Magnolia. Yeah.
Ender
yeah.
Magnolia,
No,
yeah.
I'll probably finish that game before I talk about it. Atelier Yumia, which looks good. But other than that, Ed has been took some he had some underperformers. And these are the pickups that a lot of people picked up high in leagues, but they kind of underperformed. Like he got Civ 7, which is at a 79, Avowed, which is at 81, which is kind of where I thought it would land, but some people seem disappointed by that. Tales of Iron was 79, also kind of where I thought that would be, but his guys are coming in a little soft, which sucks. Of course.
Mhm.
So Crispy, he is looking good. I got to be honest with you.
Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
No, it's not just that. I mean, he's just got a strong lineup. He also made a couple of pickups because everybody else was fucking sleeping.
Made at least one.
He picked up Skin Deep and he picked up Shinobi, which I don't know if I told you.
Yeah.
Skin
Wait,
Deep.
I didn't. Oh, I missed it. I got Shinobi.
He got Shinobi. This is the follow-up game to the people what made Streets of Rage 4, which is a very well received game, and
No,
Shinobi
what-
looks fucking sick. And he got Skin Deep.
Yeah, what is Skin Deep? What?
Skin Deep.
talked about it last
That's
week.
the Blendo game that we
Yeah.
were talking about. The first person shooter where you
There's an Xbox demo. We watched a trailer
That's right.
from
okay.
the Quadrilateral Cowboy.
Yeah, yep. I remember now.
I mean,
I don't know.
look,
I don't know if that's gonna score off the charts,
that,
but
that game will probably get indie
everyone
tag.
is
It probably won't be very good. Or I mean,
No,
it won't
it'll be good.
score. It
It'll
won't
be good.
score super well. I
mean,
think it'll be a
Quadrilateral
great
Cowboy
game.
is in low 80s game. It's gonna be look.
I don't care. I
this
don't
game
want to
will be
live in
fine.
a world. I want to live in a world where a Blendo game is
No,
just
no,
like
no.
mid.
I played
So
that demo.
whatever.
It's cool. Look.
It's sick.
Look. Everyone is like, it is the cool indie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the people who write reviews for these sites, they like
Yeah, they'll
Blendo games.
Yeah.
Like people want this game has the support, the narrative is in its favor. But I mean, you just have strong games like Snake Eater is going to score really
Snake
well.
Eater's
Metroid
pretty safe.
Prime. I think the Alters
that
is going to
comes
be really
out.
strong. And I think your counter picks, if Grand Theft Auto gets delayed, you're countering that Fire Emblem game. That does not exist. Ed made a bad pickup.
Yeah.
There's been a long rumored Fire Emblem Echoes game, or remake of a Fire Emblem game. There was 2 entries in Fantasy Critic, and that is not one of them. I mean that is one of them, but like the rumored one is not the one he picked up. So
Also, I don't know. Nobody but me has probably heard, but a pretty well established Bungie leaker account on Twitter said that Marathon pre-orders are probably going to go up by April. So
wow. And that's the big question mark on yours, right? Is Marathon gonna ship?
And Grand Theft Auto, which I have counterpicked.
Well, Grand Theft Auto you counter, yeah, that's a
Which is a
league ender. But it's
bold
bold. I get it.
That is a bold ass move. Holy
I mean,
shit.
I can
Obviously, you haven't picked up anything, but Wonderstop came out 78. A little soft, but it's an indie.
A little flaccid.
And Nolan, he got Rift of the Necrodancer. That came out 82. Solid. But he also countered 2 Point Museum, which, all of y'all looked at me weird when I drafted 2 Point Museum, which means I probably could have I drafted last. But whatever. The point is, I knew it was going to be an 84, and it was. So that's why I picked it up. Because all the other games scored an 84. Anyways, whatever. That's Fantasy Critic. There's not. Oh, no, sorry. Carlos, actually, he had Split Fiction and Like a Dragon. So that dude's got points on the board for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And he is strong. There was that Elden Ring beta test. Did you play any of that, Crispy?
The Elden Ring?
Night Rain?
No, I didn't.
I
don't want to do fucking betas for those games. I don't know why.
I get it, but like, weren't you curious about Night Rain? Like, that's a big, crazy thing.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not.
That game is probably not going to score off the charts, but like, there's so much respect for like From Software and Elden Ring. Even if that thing is mediocre, it's still gonna score well.
Do okay.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
There's an artificial From Soft bump. Everyone
is kind of there, I got the early lead or whatever, but over till it's over. I think everybody is still well within reach of doing whatever they want. There's been no early, like the biggest catastrophe was the Earthblade cancellation, which no one saw coming. Nick's got to hold that because it was countered. But I mean, you can super drop it.
I did. Wait, no, I haven't. I haven't done the super drop yet.
Wait, you don't need to super drop yet.
I know.
For the strategic purposes, just wait. Because for all you know, Claire Obscure Expedition could be like an 89, and it might be smarter to drop that. So.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for Fantasy Critic.
All right, let's wrap up with the 4Player Minute. Final thoughts of the night. Brad, go.
Okay. Here's my final thought. There was a Suikoden event.
Oh. What?
There was a Suikoden event. Suikoden is back, according to Konami. This is why you should not get excited for your Silent Hill game. Fuck you, Nick. Fuck you, Nick. You got a Silent Hill 2 remake that was actually good by a studio that has never made actually good before. They've only made actually okay. Look, they've only made actually okay. They've never made actually good. Anyways, whatever. It was better than anyone could have hoped for, and that's true, obviously.
I do. My game of the year, baby.
Yeah. So, also, watch those Game of the Year videos if you haven't yet. A lot of effort goes into those. Anyways, they announced as, like Konami does, I guess, or there's a Suikoden anime coming, animated something, I don't know. It's probably going to be terrible like everything is. No, I don't. That Castlevania show's pretty all right, I guess, because I like the
Wait, I thought you loved that show.
I don't love it. I mean, nobody loves it. But it is
I've seen you get pretty excited.
It's like a good show to like fanboy out if you like Castlevania, right? It's cool. Alucard fighting alongside Trevor Belmont, fucking sign me up, right? But it's not like cinema, whatever. Anyways, whatever. That's not what so they announced a show, anime, and they announced a mobile game, a Suikoden mobile game, which just looks kind of like a mobile version of Ayuden Chronicle, which is so funny, right? It's, I guess, why did this happen? Why is this the thing that this is it? It's back. They had an event. The mobile game doesn't even look that bad. But it is a mobile game, so it's trash. It is a mobile game from, it is Eastern developed. What I'm saying is there's no mobile games coming out of Japan or China or like Korea. Let's be honest. It's all gotcha trash. It is. It just is. It just fucking is. Those are the mobile games they make. So it's not like there's going to be a secret great RPG. It just happens to be on phones. That's just not what is made over there, right? So it's going to be gotcha trash. And so it's literally just like it hurts. It hurts me.
Your soul.
Because if you watch that trailer, it just kind of looks like it's weird that it looks like they're copying Ayuden Chronicle. which is strange. Definitely some backwards there, but I don't know, not like this. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm not surprised. I was never getting my hopes up, but maybe a successful show and mobile game could lead to something I actually care about. I'm still waiting for it on Castlevania. Everybody loves Castlevania in all aspects outside of actual new video games that Konami refuses to make. They could put out collections and shows and spin-offs and Smash Brothers characters and shit. There's so much Castlevania that's not actual Castlevania. And it's so sad. So like I would not even gonna think about Suikoden until, but if one day they announce Suikoden 6, I don't know. I would have loved to have said they could have hired like Rabbit and Bear to make a Suikoden game. But Murayama passed away last year. It's like really incredibly sad. The creator of Suikoden, like, and he could have, fucking Hideki Kamiya is working on Okami too. Like this shit could it happens, right? Because Konami, like, they had no team to make a new Suikoden game, just like Capcom didn't have anybody to make Okami because the people that make Okami have been long gone. I don't know. But we will get more Ayuden Chronicles games. I think that game did pretty well for what it was, actually. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Wait.
Suikoden, fuck. I do have the HD collection, the 1 and 2 remastered, but it's just Suikoden.
Yep. All right. Chris Davis.
There's a new Nindoroid for Tyr, the main character from Suikoden 1, which looks good. I think I'm gonna buy it.
Nice. All right, Chris Davis.
Okay. I guess my final thought is last night I completed Pirate Yakuza.
It looks
100%ed it. Really enjoyed it. It was shorter than I expected. It's not like a 10 or 11 chapter game like Infinite Wealth was or anything else before it. It was 5 chapters, but 39 hours.
Isn't that
gameplay,
closer
100%.
to? Isn't that kind of closer in line to The Man Who Erased His Name, or?
Yeah. This was based on that kind of same design principle of smaller, big game but small.
Gotcha.
It was fucking great. I really, really enjoyed it. Fun story. Really good ship combat.
Did you do all the battle arena stuff with that?
I did every single thing possible.
Does it get like
did
trickier? Does it get deeper, more complex, more challenging? What's the word on that? Final word on that?
I would say, yeah, it does get a little bit more complex. You start having when you go into deck battles, you'll have enemies. They'll start doing stat attacks that will poison you or shock you or do things to really,
Your boat gets poisoned.
Things like that. Yeah, you're poisoned, you get frozen, it gets set on fire, things like that. Also, I wouldn't say there's necessarily rubber banding with the AI that happens at the later levels, but those ships are turning on not even a dime. They're like maybe a millimeter and getting a good shot on me when they have like 5,000 health. So I wish the ship combat like customization was a little bit deeper. I would have liked more options as to like my cannons and upgrading my sails, giving me more options for like speed and maneuverability, which past like chapter 2, you don't get any more beyond that, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, just like the various arena battles, the whole side quest story about finding this or hunting down this rival pirate gang that's actually just actual murderers or marauders. Exploring those exclusive island chains, and it was just fucking fun. Also going just back to Honolulu and seeing all these little mini games from Majima's perspective were fucking great. I cannot tell you how much Crazy Eats and Sicko Snap I played. Just because I could play.
Sicko Snap was back.
Are they Are they both
Yeah.
in like just as they were in Infinite?
Did you ever do the battle cart?
Oh yeah, I did the battle cart too. Yeah.
Is it
Battle Cart-
good? Is it like fun? I didn't really
mean-
love Dragon Kart from Yakuza 7 or whatever, but I heard there's a battle mode, and I'm kind of
It's a really quick battle mode with like one map. It's very easy to cheese.
yes,
Yeah.
of course.
And it's only used for like very
because
particular scenarios.
because the
so.
gameplay, Nick, in these mini games is B- gameplay. You can admit to that and still be and still value these games. I mean, Yakuza's always been that way, honestly. But we still we love
to your question, Crispy, there is new content for each of those in Pirate Yakuza. In fact, I won't spoil it for you, but Sicko Snap has a special finale level that is kind of magical. It is it's cinema, really.
I love Sicko Snap. I love that Infinite Wealth was like, what if we just put Pokemon and Pokemon Snap into this game?
Yeah,
It's
Fuck
so sick. It's so sick. It's so sick.
it's really fucking good. I ended up having, I think I recruited every available crew member, so I had like 104, 105.
It wasn't 108. That would have been great.
Don't worry. Just
108
Keep
is
going.
how many characters you recruit in every Suikoden game.
Oh, okay.
108 Stars of Destiny. You uncultured
I mean,
swine.
technically, if you count like the main like characters, like it goes up to like 108, 109, but whatever. No, great game. Also, I really like how it tagged on at the end, and there's it's not locker room baby bullshit, but there is
Some
just
brand of
one
bullshit.
tier below that is just absolutely ludicrous as to how they wrap around the plot and everything. And also a nice epilogue ending that pushes the story forward. So, yeah, really fun
Cool.
game.
sweet.
Sounds like frivolous bullshit.
I just say one day, Nick,
Sometimes that's all you need.
you're going to finish Infinite Wealth, and then you're going to immediately.
I haven't
wanna
even.
jump-
I'm playing like a dragon.
Yeah,
I know. That's why I said one day. Maybe this decade.
Why
And
don't you start
when you
small?
finish
Be like,
Infinite
one
Wealth-
day you'll finish like a dragon.
Yeah, no,
I can attest to that. I'll do that.
no, you're
sure.
you're gonna like a dragon so much you're gonna play
Listen,
Infinite
bitches,
Wealth.
I'm not guaranteeing
He's
that
not.
I'm
This
fully
man
on
finished-
the Yakuza train yet.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
I
you
was
got-
the same way, Nick. I
Chris
started with
Davis-
fucking 6.
Chris Davis. This man played Persona 3 and Metaphor last year and was like, "Yeah, they're pretty good." He's not going to become a Yakuza sicko. It's just not going to happen.
Well, it's only a matter of time, I think.
It's not.
But-
it's just-
I mean, it also scratches that Assassin's Creed Black Flag boner. I mean,
no, it doesn't, dude.
it does. It does a little bit.
I played and loved Black Flag. It does.
I, as someone who loved,
You
You
played
haven't-
are
Black
lying
Flag,
to people.
I watched that footage from the other week. It was the ship combat footage. Let me tell you, as someone who loved Black Flag, that looked like hot garbage.
You're missing out on the audio. You're missing out on some of the experience of actually playing it. I think
I'm
it's
just-
just,
I mean,
it
it's
is
probably
great that
dumb-
you can like
it's
let go of the
dumb fun.
wheel and like run around your boat and you just have a rocket launcher. I mean, that's cool. It's cool, but it's not like good.
It's some Saints
It's
Row
silly.
bullshit.
it's not great. I think it's good. I think it's fun.
Okay.
And
I'm
and
just
since
saying,
we haven't played
like-
Black Flag since like
But Black Flag is
2014?
like Black Flag is like legitimate like steering a ship with like ship physics against with like I
It's
don't know
no Sea of Thieves.
With shit physics.
ship physics. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Anyways, we're moving on. Crispy, what's your final thought for the week?
Okay, well, I mean, I talked a lot about Monster Hunter, which is really the only gaming I've been doing all week, so I'll talk more about Star Trek. I've been watching
my-
Star Trek.
Oh no, cut his
I
mouth.
think last time the last episode I watched was Ethics
my-
from season 5, the
Yeah,
episode where
She's gonna
Worf
do it
gets,
again.
where Worf gets fucking paralyzed. It was pretty good. Cause and Effect was a really good one.
He's
Classic,
literally going to the
classic.
episode.
The first duty. Okay, the first duty is the one where Wesley's flight team at
Wesley,
the academy.
We don't like Wesley.
Does that
covers up
maneuver
the
that
death of
kills
one of their
them, yeah.
squad mates, and the leader of the squad is played by Robert Duncan McNeil, who also plays Tom Paris in Star Trek Voyager. So it became a joke in Lower Decks that Nick Locarno and Tom Paris look alike. And this is the episode where he comes from. I love it. It's great. Cost of Living. That's a Luoxana Troy episode. And you know what? It's pretty good. Perfect Mate, whatever. Imaginary Friend was okay. It was whatever. Iborg, classic episode. Great Borg episode.
Was
It's
Iborg
like
the one with
first
Hugh?
time we're real. Yeah, it's the one with Hugh, and we're really like kind of. We're really like emphasizing the fact that like, despite the fact that Picard thinks he's over his trauma from being assimilated, he's not. The next phase, which is the one after that, is a really good episode where Ro Laren and Geordie LaForge accidentally get like lost in a transporter accident, and they're like out of phase, and they have to like figure out how to convince everybody they're still alive. Pretty great. The Inner Light is a good episode, and it's fucking heartbreaking. It's the one where they encounter an alien probe. It flashes a light at Picard, and the light like makes him live an entire like 80-year life.
The flute one,
on this world, and then like by the time he wakes up, he's like lived a whole life, had like a wife and kids who are all dead now. Like it's fucking crazy.
He experiences
it's
this
kind of
entire
like
life in like 40 seconds in the real world.
Yeah, there's a similar episode to that in Deep Space Nine where it happens to Chief O'Brien, except instead of like living a life and having a family, he's in prison for like 30 years. It like they implant memories of him being in prison, and he like goes crazy and like kills his cellmate, and is like at the end of that episode is like gonna fucking kill himself. Like has a phaser and is like pointing it at his head like he's gonna fucking kill himself. It's crazy. Like it's fucking insane. But season 5 ends with I think this is my favorite finale to season premiere two-parter in the whole series. I love Best of Both Worlds. It's incredible. Nothing will ever top the end of Best of Both Worlds Part 1, where Riker's like, prepare to fire, and the music's going like, way bit. So cool. But the season finale to season 5 premiere to season 6 is Time Zero Part 1 and 2. That's the one where they find Data's head in a cave under San Francisco in the present, and they're like, how the fuck did this get here? And then he gets blown back in time to like the 1800s in San Francisco, and he meets Mark Twain and like goes on this whole fucking adventure of like trying to find these aliens who are like sucking people's soul. Dude, it's great. It's so good because when he first gets to San Francisco and he's like walking around in his Starfleet uniform, and everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's like I like, they're like, you need money to do things like buy food and stuff. And he's like, oh, I don't have any money. And then he overhears some guys talking about poker, and he's like, oh, there's a poker game? Because he plays poker on the Enterprise, and then he goes in and fucking cleans up and makes a shit ton of money. And the Frenchman that he beats at poker is played by Mark Alimo, who is Gul Dukat, which is
Mark
great.
Alimo.
That guy's everywhere. He's like
in 5
Gul
different
Dukat.
characters in that entire series. Yeah.
He plays 3 different Cardassians, I think.
Yeah.
Remember
like
when he
throughout
was
the
a
whole series, but
Ferengi?
he never did play Ferengi, but he was the inspiration for the look of the Cardassians. The reason why they have those like weird neck ridges is because he himself has like a weirdly long neck. So that's fun. That's really cool. But yeah, Time Zero is fucking sick. I love it so goddamn much. It's a great one, and I'm about to watch Realm of Fear, which is a Reginald Barkley episode. Hell yeah!
Barkley.
Chris Davis's favorite character.
Next week during the 4-player minute, Crispy will walk us through season 6.
Is that
Season
the one
6?
where he's dealing with like the monsters in the transporter?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Chris Davis is over
this
here.
is a weird episode.
You're steering this podcast.
This episode gives us more insight into like what it's like to be
I can't
transported than anything else, and it's really weird. He like is in the matter stream and like sees monsters, and they're all like, "You're fucking crazy," and he's like, "I'm not crazy."
Look, why don't y'all do like a fucking Deep Space Nine episode by episode podcast? Chris Davis, the Chris's, you call it the Chris's,
Fistful
whatever.
of Datas is coming up. I'm going to talk about Fistful of Datas in a couple weeks, probably next week. It's a great episode.
No, do it.
It's so good.
The Chris's podcast premiering next week. For next week, the Chris's are gonna the Chris Pine and Chris. How many Chris's were in Chris Hemsworth? He was in Star Trek, right?
Dude, season 6 has Frame of Mind. The episode where Riker is in an alien insane asylum and thinks he's going crazy. It's great.
Yep.
Anyway, Star Trek
Fistful
Next
of Data is
Generation
actually
incredible.
directed by Patrick Stewart.
Okay,
Which one of y'all is
guys.
Chris Pine
Incredible
of
stuff.
the Star Trek Chris's?
This was
Hey, look.
Crispy's 4-player minute. He can say whatever he wants.
I'm gonna start
It
letting
is
Crispy
not
go
a
last
minute.
so we can just fade the podcast out as he's talking about
Yes.
Star Trek.
That's
My
Whatever.
final thought-
You
I'll
guys
keep it
talk about
short.
dumb shit all the time.
Fucking
I
censorship.
know that's true.
You,
Allow me
but
to-
you're just like TVGuide.com, like reading off the episode synopsises. It's not.
Which, if y'all will let me, I'll do it for Dexter starting right now. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Look, I'll keep mine short. One thing that we didn't really talk about this week, they dropped the full fucking trailer for The Last of Us Season 2.
Oh, I did
And
Yeah.
oh my god, the trailer alone had me feeling some things. I'm so fucking excited for this season, but I'm also so terrified of
Who was there? Was someone cast in there that I was like, oh, is that dude from? Oh, who's playing Jesse? What is that?
Oh, I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Is he the
would ask me
guy
that.
from?
Oh, I can tell you right now, or maybe in just a moment. Because I'm already on IMDb. Fuck, I don't know. Shit, Jesse, where the fuck are you, Jesse? Young Mazzino is his name.
Young
Mazzino, I don't know. But yeah, no, the trailer dropped. It looks fucking amazing. I'm so like, there's like little hints at just like, I thought I had kind of an idea because obviously they've talked a lot about like they're gonna have to
This
like
is
change.
the dude from. He was in Beef. Did y'all watch Beef?
I did not watch Beef.
He was the brother in Beef. Beef was good. Now, y'all haven't seen Beef?
I have not seen Beef.
Okay.
But look,
I thought that was him, but he looks so buff. I guess he got
Yeah.
buff for The Last of Us.
But look, I had some. They've talked a lot about how they're going to have to obviously shift things around, tell the story slightly differently in different, out of order or in or different orders because of the nature of it being a TV show versus a game kind of thing, which is I'm totally fine with. But like, kind of knowing what the trajectory of the show is, as far as like how many they have, at least 2 more seasons to go, maybe even 3 more, and how they're gonna and how many episodes they have in the season. I'm like, I kind of already had a feeling where they were gonna end the season on, and now I've completely changed up my thoughts on that.
Wait.
And
Where are you thinking they're going to end it?
I originally thought they were gonna end it with that moment, the
Yeah.
one that, yeah,
Where they go play golf?
yes, where they go play golf.
You don't think
and
it's going
that
to
is-
end that way?
No, you see, there are moments in that trailer that
That are
clearly
after the
come
golf scene?
after that moment. Yeah, there are moments.
Yeah, but I think
Clearly after that.
they filmed 2 seasons. I think they filmed 2
But I don't-
seasons and
but I
that
don't
they're
think they would-
showing.
No, I don't think they've started filming
I think
season
they
3 yet.
are. This,
I think they're
also-
developing them back to back.
yeah, I think there's too much ground to cover. I think they're going to.
Well, no, I mean, you're right.
Have they confirmed it's going to be a full season, or are they going to do like a
It's
break?
7 episodes. This is 7 episodes.
Is it a break?
No, they're just 7 episodes, and then we'll have to wait for season 3. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the productions are like back to back. Like they're probably filming season 3. I tend to follow these things fairly closely, and I haven't heard anything about them actually filming season 3 yet. So I don't know, but I don't think there's going to be a big of a gap in between season 2 and 3 as there was in between 1 and 2. My point is, I don't know if they'd be showing things in the trailer for season 2 if it was going to be in season 3, but whatever. I could be wrong. But I'm also kind of like preparing myself to like I'm also like, I know Caitlin Deaver even Caitlin Deaver knows she's about to get a ton of shit for playing
She's probably
Abby.
already been getting shit.
Yeah, she's probably already getting harassed, and I just want to send a huge fuck you to anyone who thinks that's appropriate. Because my God, and I'm super excited to see what she does with the character, and I'm super excited for the show. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Fuck, it's gonna be good. Anyways,
Is Ashley Birch reprising her character?
Ashley Birch.
Ashley
Yeah.
Birch.
Ashley Birch.
What show are you fucking talking?
I don't
about?
think you.
She
You
was in
talking
part
about
2.
what's the show on Apple TV where they are the video game studio?
Oh, you mean? You mean the actress who plays Ellie in the game? Is that who you're
No.
talking about?
Ashley Birch.
No, I
No,
know.
she-
It's not.
she had a character
Ashley
that was
Birch
a
has nothing.
She played a character that was one of Abby's friends that eventually gets golfed.
Oh, I don't think there's been a lot of casting because I don't think we're gonna get too deep into Abby's story in this season.
I mean, her character is present for golf, so
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. Are you thinking about Ashley Johnson? No, Ashley Johnson is Ellie.
yeah, Ashley
So you're
Johnson's
thinking
Ellie.
about it was. I didn't even realize Ashley Birch was in the game. Anyways, that's neither here nor there, guys. That's our show.
No
Thank
one
you so
knew
much
that.
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Next week, maybe another Yakuza stream with myself and Crispy.
Monster Hunter stream.
Maybe a Monster Hunter stream in lieu of a podcast next week. So I would say for that, make sure you're in our Discord at discord.gg/4player. We'll let everybody know what the schedule is. And Brad mentioned earlier, if you haven't yet, our Game of the Year videos for 2024 are out. So if you want to go see what our favorite games are of the year, they're out there. They're available to watch. You can find them on YouTube and Discord and all that stuff. So go check those out. I'll post the links for them in the show notes as well. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week. In the meantime, be good to each other, play video games, and good night.